KTSA News Time, 10:08. Jack Riccardi on News Talk 550 KTSA. Kicking off the weekend with our gang of four. Already Ken Slavin's making trouble. We haven't even started the show yet, and he already demands a microphone adjustment. Good grief. Mr. High Maintenance over here. Ken Slavin is with us, jazz singer, public relations guy, busiest man in town during Fiesta. I was exhausted reading your Facebook post.
I'm glad you read it, though. I was amazed how many people read it. It was amazing.
I read every word of it, but it was exhausting.
It was exhausting. I have never been involved in Fiesta from the inside out, looking from the inside out. It was an amazing experience. It was a lot of fun, but a lot of work. We were, up very early every day, 8 to 10 stops around town a day.
Around, basically. Right?
Well, yeah, I was doing his PR work and arranging his interviews, but there's a whole court. I was a member of the court, but I mean there were ministers in white uniforms, motorcades every morning of 8 cars, and
that was
police escort. No.
We're doing the parade Monday night, the River Parade, and the El Rey Feo float's coming by the KTSA broadcast table, and Ken's on there, and I never wave and shout at a parade. I mean, come on, I'm a little old for that. I see Ken, I'm like, hey, Ken! Ken gives me the back of his hand.
No.
Hello, peasant.
We went through there so fast. I remember hearing your voice, but I don't remember seeing you. And Liz was with you.
Liz was with me. Well, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Jack.
Also with us here today, Barry Davis, Ken's 5 Eyewitness News wants to know, and the king of the ratings on weekends. I mean, if you want ratings in this town on weekend news, you want Barry Davis, right?
As far as I'm concerned,
yes.
and my mother.
He's not too modest to agree with me.
Can you call my boss and just show that out?
Who is your boss?
Kurt Davis.
I just friended him.
No relation.
On Facebook. I'll write to him.
I have to be the worst Facebook friend ever. I don't even have a picture on my Facebook.
Well, I know
page.
you and I are friends.
You don't have you're in television.
You've written something to me?
Oh, I'm sure I have. Back when I first accepted. I mean, somehow we became friends. I knew we'd become friends.
I'm
among my 2,400 friends on Facebook.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I think I have 3. You, my mom.
So you're not an enthusiastic citizen of the
my life
virtual
is just
universe.
A little too busy.
Yeah, you.
For that,
I mean, you really are, honestly.
And I don't know, I lived long before Facebook. I'm living through it. I'm sure I'll live after its demise.
All right, fair enough. Don't friend Barry Davis.
No, don't
Facebook.
Say that.
Just watch him on channel 4.
Well, the button you hit is...
At least watch.
Oh,
or ignore and just don't even hit the button.
And then Kevin Joyce is here. I'm always glad to see Kevin. Kevin is a pastor without a church, but we mean that in a good way. You don't have a brick-and-mortar church.
Yeah.
You have a virtual?
Decentralized church.
Decentralized church.
Yeah.
How does that work? For folks who are hearing you for the first time.
Sure, yeah. They meet in different locations. Actually, some of them are not even in San Antonio. And so it's more about the people and less about the building. So, yeah, it's been good. It's been going good.
And that is called?
Fractals. Fractals.tv
right.
is what it is.
How far in advance do you book that?
What's that?
Like a place where you're going to meet.
Oh, actually, some meet in houses.
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
Yeah. So it just depends on.
So you have several churches all at
I
once.
guess you could say
That's
that.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have church here right now. We're going to have the Church of the Painful Truth right now.
Oh, here we go.
I'm the pastor of that church.
I like that.
All right. Well, you guys were carping about the royal wedding. We don't have any royal wedding fans here in the room.
No. I told you earlier, I'm more interested in the podiatric health of a Depression-era railroad hobo than I am the... I'd rather watch them cut your toenails.
Everybody says that.
Royal wedding.
Everybody says that, and I've arranged that for next hour. But
perfect.
Everybody says, we don't care, we don't know what the big deal is. What's the disconnect that the networks are spending Olympic-like money on this?
Ken hit the nail on the head. He said, I thought we tried to get away from all of that.
Yes, in 1776.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we're acting like we want to go back.
No, really, weddings are great, but
this happens all the time. It seems like we have a fascination with it. Maybe in particular, this particular wedding is because of how rotten so many things are with the economy, and a lot of people may be feeling down and out. Maybe this is a bright spot in their lives, but I don't understand. I don't understand so much hoopla about it in the United States when we were supposed to basically not be, enamored of royalty.
There is no females in the room, and if there were, weddings and princesses, all that kind of stuff. The royal hey, there it is, right there.
Well, as we're sitting
I mean,
here, as
but we're all
sitting,
guys, right? So
No, it's not. I don't think it's a male-female thing, because I'll be the first one to admit weddings, and I don't even have to know you. If I'm just going, they kind of make me, I'll cry at a wedding, but I'm a pretty
Well,
sensitive
I cry when I
individual.
found out I have to go to a wedding.
well, I cried when
Well,
I
that
walked
was
here
yours.
into your studio and saw The View on a big screen, and Goldie Hawn and the hosts of the show wearing ridiculous hats.
Here's the sickest thing I've heard today, though. This is really sick. Apparently,
Well, we're not done yet.
Yeah, so far, we'll easily top this. Apparently, they hired lip readers, the various media organizations, so that they could tell you what the people were saying to each other and what she said to him at the altar and he said to her at the altar.
The networks did this?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
So when they would lean over and murmur to each other, there'd be someone going, well, now that meant this, or he just said
And you
that.
wonder why TV is as sick as it is.
That's
you know?
crazy, right?
that's a little overboard.
Now, if they had known that, they could have really had some fun with it.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Well, no, it's
Yes.
just, I'm
Could
going
have
to keep
said
that in
all
mind,
kinds of things
you
to
know, just whenever I'm in front of a camera, what are they really saying?
Yeah. All right. Donald Trump made the news this week. He says, I have done a great service to the American people. And no, it doesn't mean he parted his hair. It means he's taking credit for getting that birth certificate, prying that birth certificate out of President Obama. Does Donald Trump deserve the credit for that?
Maybe. He certainly put it out there loud enough, and like or dislike the guy, people watch him because of his history.
Well, it could very well be, because, I mean, how many years have people been asking for it up till now and nothing happened? I was actually very surprised that it actually happened.
I was too.
Kevin, would you say that he's done a great service to the American people?
No. But I saw him on a show, and he said he didn't think that it didn't exist. He thought that it existed, but that there was something on there that people would not want to see. And now, obviously, we've seen it.
Right.
But what is that? I still
Well,
don't
I
know.
actually put a link on Facebook, so Barry will never see it. But I put a link
I'm
on
going to go home and
Facebook.
look at it. I'm going to pull up my iPhone.
There
and look
are
now.
already the top 20 conspiracy theories about the birth certificate,
please.
and it's stuff on there that I didn't even notice. So it guides you. It says, "Look at this, look at that. This doesn't look right. That doesn't look
come
right.
on.
Why
Move
is this
on.
number?"
Move
so,
on.
but Donald Trump said he goes up the morning after the president released it. He goes up to New Hampshire to campaign, and he says, "Did you hear? I'm so proud of myself. I got this guy to show his birth certificate."
It's like Al Gore invented the internet.
I mean, it's like he's a kid that brought home a report card.
Well, and here's the thing.
And that's
Donald-
such a major reason to be president.
The only thing Donald Trump is campaigning for right now is publicity, because you know this guy, when it comes cutting time, he's gonna cut. He doesn't want anybody looking into his true finances, much less another campaign. He's not gonna run.
He's not going to run.
I don't think.
Do you guys think he's running? I mean, he's leading every poll. He's leading.
I think he'll run. I mean, if the numbers are there,
It reminds
I
me
think
somewhat
he'll
of the
run.
Ross Perot thing many years ago. It reminds me somewhat of that. But I just think he has an ego that knows no bounds.
Only Ross Perot was legit.
What makes you legit?
The guy actually had some decent ideas. He's an incredibly successful businessman, to where Trump, it depends on what year it is whether he's successful or not. How many times has the guy filed for bankruptcy?
A bunch.
It's crazy. And he has become more of a circus figure than Ross Perot's campaign was when it initially started. And then Ross Perot became a legitimate candidate, pulling a higher percentage of votes than any independent candidate ever has, and I believe was the first time a president was elected with less than 50% of the vote.
What were you going to say,
I
Kevin?
I was just
you're
going to say, I've talked to a couple people and just asked, hey, what would you think of President Trump? A lot of people say, yeah. We don't want somebody of, like, we're tired of we want someone crazy
would be
up there,
entertaining.
I mean, yeah, that's what they were saying. We're tired of
He wouldn't ask for resignations, would he? You're fired.
Yeah, you're fired. You're fired.
Trump says now that the next thing is to get the grades. He wants President Obama's transcripts. He wants to know how this guy got into Harvard. being a self-described mediocre student. Is that a legitimate? Do we need to know that? I didn't even need the birth certificate.
I think there's
do we need the
something
grades?
even more legitimate in that. Not necessarily the grades. I mean, sure, it's a question. Look at how they ranked George Bush over the coals because of his grades.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big question here with all the conspiracy theorists is, did he apply for and receive aid for foreign students? And I think that is the ultimate underlying question.
That's the thing that he doesn't
Absolutely.
want us to know. Going to what Kevin said, it isn't really the piece of paper. There's some detail he doesn't want us to know.
That's my thought.
And what are we going to do if that's the case?
What do you do?
What do we do with that information?
I don't really know. I would
I
think
don't
the
think there's-
statute
I
of
don't think there's-
limitations
well, I don't
far
think there's
out.
any recourse on that. I
Yeah.
mean, he's already been elected president.
Impeach him, right? I mean, that's
I find it so interesting that we're all of a sudden we want to know all this, but of course we haven't known anything. We haven't known this level of detail about our previous presidents. Our previous presidents kept huge secrets from us, major life and death health issues, and
Yes.
scandals, and double lives and triple lives, and we think we knew them
And what
because
was
now they're in
actually
the history
happening in the
books.
Oval Office.
Yeah, and who knows exactly? And I don't know. I mean, I think you're never going to know. These are powerful people. The perk of power is that you get to cover up. You get to release. You project only what you want people to know about you. Or
Well, a lot
think
of that
about
stuff in the past, with any president, or even if some of it's going on right now, I think what matters is what they're accomplishing in office now while they're president. And I know that he's under enough scrutiny for that, and there are a lot of people who disagree with the things he's doing there. But that's all that really matters, that the rest of it's moot.
you. Yeah. All right, I'm going to come back with my kooky alternative birth certificate theory and see what Gang of Four thinks. And a lot more to talk about with the gang, plus your votes in today's JR poll at 599-5555. She is the crown princess of news, Karen Close.